Good evening and a very warm welcome to the Grassroots Weekender Show. I'm Mal Lee, host for this evening, but I've got other hosts with me. I'm invisible tonight because we're leaving it to our young commentators. And we've got, well, we're all waiting on one. He hasn't turned up at the moment, he may come a little bit later. But we've got Jaden, Connor, Oliver and Dan. Welcome to the show, lads.
Thanks, Mel.
Tonight's topic we're going to be talking about, now this is not very good, most of you are involved in grassroots football. And what we've seen over the last few days and the last week is a shortage of referees in grassroots football. So the topic tonight, we'll have a little gab about it. These referees are either being verbally abused, being bullied, or it's because of what's happened in the pandemic that people have just not turned back up to referee games and what have you. Now, can you imagine your games? Anyone can take over and talk to me on this one. You're playing football and you've got no referee. Doesn't turn up, so your manager's got to do it. What's it like when that happens, lads?
It's quite bad because sometimes the managers are either honest or biased. Because if it's biased, it's just score 50 goals before the match even starts.
Well, how important is a referee in your games? When you see the referee turn up in uniform, you're all in your kits, and the referee turns up. How does it feel because you've got someone there who's introducing the laws of the games to you? The whistle goes if there's any fouls. What would it be like if we had grassroots football without a referee?
Well, I agree that it's a completely better game with obviously your referees in place. But without the referee, your manager will have to take place, and it's not really fair then because, say for example, I was in a game against a team, and the referee was not available, so their manager had to go in, and because managers would like for their team to win, they might change up the rules a bit and give a foul to them when it's meant to be a foul to us or whatever, because they might change the rules a bit. But it's the same for when our team's managers, they ref.
So why do you think we're a shortage of referees? It's not just on Merseyside, this is all over the country at the moment. And if referees are being bullied from the touchline, and they said it's like yourselves, because a lot of them, young referees, are still at school, because you can be a referee at 14 years of age, and that's the age group that you can start to referee now.
Yeah, we've got
Young
one of my referees.
Yeah,
you know him, don't you?
Is that Finn?
Young
Finn? I think he's about 16 now, Finn, isn't he? Yeah, there's quite a few referees that we do though, young referees.
Yeah.
And it's unfair on them because, as I say, they're still at school. And have you ever been in games yourselves where the parents or managers are shouting towards the referee, accusing the referee?
That was last game.
Have you?
Exactly, yeah. One of the reasons I wanted to leave my team, who have now just left and joined a new team, is because of the verbal abuse to the referees. Because it shouldn't happen.
It's not good.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, okay, referees do get paid, but I don't know whether you want to...
I don't think Danny's picking up. Because Danny was just talking and kept him still all the time.
No, it's alright, that's picking up there, so...
Oh, okay.
Well done anyway. What were we talking about there?
There was the referees and how well they should be treated and not during the games of football and grassroots.
Yeah, so it's not going to be... There's no game, is there, if a referee is not there.
Charge, yeah.
When, as you just said there, Jay, you talked about a manager coming in, they've got to be unbiased. The referee is impartial. Referee comes along there, does 3-4 games in the day, different teams, and why should the referee be getting accused of being on someone's side when they're doing different games? You can't support 10 teams at once, can you?
No.
So there's no favouritism. So we've got to give them the benefit of the doubt. They're doing the job the best they can, and it's frightening, and we need to do something about it. And you may have seen on social media that with our REFspect campaign, we've done hashtag don't bully the ref. What do you think of something that will help maybe introduce more referees to the game and keep our existing referees officiating? What do you think of that?
Just going back before you just said that, Mal, a couple of months ago when we were on the Zooms, I was mentioning about the referees had to take the Pacific course to become one, and they obviously the players don't know how hard it will be.
Well, there you go, and that's a great point. It's a valid point, because what we should mention, if you want to be a referee, you can actually go to your local county FA, and they will help you, they'll develop you, they'll get you through your course, and some of the referees can put money away and go and save it up for a holiday. That's what most of them do. But there's a lot of young referees who are going into universities.
Need to pay for the funds.
There you go. So it does help them, and you've all got the opportunity to go out and do a referee. I don't know whether any of you thought about that at the moment, or you're obviously too young to it because they're 14 years of age, but at least there's a nice little opportunity. But how would you feel if, it may have happened to you, if a parent, while you're playing your game of football, starts shouting, not your mum, not your dad, someone else, started shouting at you and telling you you're doing that wrong, pass it to so-and-so? How would you feel? What would it do to your game?
I'm not going to say about that, but that happened last game with me. This, on the opposite, was like giving grief to one of my teammates, like one of my mates in the team, saying that you're doing that wrong. He said, I can't say it on this, but calling my friend, he's bad, shouldn't play for the team, and this is why we're losing.
So how did your friends feel? Well, how did you overhearing that? How did you feel? You're playing a game of football, trying to enjoy yourselves.
He didn't want to play again. He stopped. He said he didn't want to play.
I don't like the attitude when you're saying that because of what your team did. It's a team game, football. It should be respected. So your teammates.
So with you lads in here now, what could you think? Obviously we come up with the hashtag Don't Bully the Ref with our REFspect campaign. The Premier League referees will be wearing our t-shirts, and we're hoping to have it on Derby Day, which is the 23rd of April 2022, where every Premier League ground will host the referees wearing our t-shirts to give the message to everyone in grassroots football that we need our referees. Don't verbally abuse them, don't chase them away from the game, let's encourage them to come to the game. What would you give a message? What would you like to see to help, or what could you lads do with your teams to help the referees to stay in the game? Have you got any ideas, any thoughts that you think that we give to our viewers, our listeners?
I've just got one in my head just then, Mal. Don't refuse the game, play it, because it's just the one word just came to my mind straight away, which I think you should respect all the rules of football from the referees, but it's wrong by shouting at them and everything.
It's scaring them away, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I think that's one of the issues due to the shortage, probably.
Yeah.
It's all the abuse that they're getting screamed at.
Most referees now are early 20s and still getting used to being referees, so it's quite hard for them, I think.
Well, when you get into your teams, obviously you can all go to your teams and you can talk to your managers, and you can say to the managers, look, we don't want to see the referees walking away from the game. We just want to go out and play our game of football. Ask your managers, ask your coaches to talk to the parents, and all your teammates, just say to them, let's respect the referee, let's REFspect the referee. That's what's Don't Cross the Line. 2003, we've been bringing people together. We want to continue this. So you can help out and all go back to your teams and say, look, we want to keep our referees in the game. And obviously you're ambassadors for Don't Cross the Line campaign. You can portray the message towards them. You can get them supporting. You've all got your accounts on your social medias. Pass the message out and say, REFspect the referees. We'll do this every week, and obviously you're all going to be supporting our REFspect Awareness Weekend on the 23rd of April, if it's confirmed by the PGMOL. They're all the referees. They're the Premier Game, that stands for Premier Game Match Officials. That's what that's for. So it's the Premier League who are all organising, not the FA, it's the Premier League that those PGMOL referees and assistants are working for. So they're helping us out, professionals, helping us out to get to the message to grassroots football. All the teams can. You can all do it on your accounts and start saying, let's keep our referees within the games. We may all be a referee one day. Give them a fair chance, give them the opportunity to develop their skills, like you young footballers are doing in your teams. You want to develop, you want to go better. If you had your chance, you'd go and try and make it into the Premier League. It's hard, but that's what you want to try and do. You've all got your wishes and your dreams, so why can't these referees have theirs? So when these adults start shouting and screaming, I think maybe the young players could go to the manager, your own manager, and say, can you stop this? Because we're not comfortable in that referee getting the verbal abuse. So you take that away with you when you're doing that and you're playing your games. And pass this weekend, if you can, pass the message on to your coach and say, look, we want to join Don't Cross the Line and make sure our referees are safe within the game, and we can just forget the referee is there. Let's all enjoy our game of football and leave the referee alone. That's a good message, isn't it?
Great message, Mel, yeah.
Now, you wanted to show something to Colin, you two, didn't you? Our number one. Come on, give a message to him.
Colin, guess what? Up the toffees.
Don't listen to them, Colin.
Yeah, we
True
do
bet,
it.
yeah.
Carl, they've worn that especially for you, mate, and I know what that you'd be going red in the face, not blue in the face, red in the face.
Yeah.
I know what Colin is.
Well, on the quick topic of Colin, I think Oliver's got something to share.
Yeah, he has. What we got there, Al? Tell us about it.
Our young commentator's #1 fan, Colin Fulton, has arranged a DXTL charity football match to take place at All Saints in Kirby. On October the 17th, kick-off at 11 a.m. All money raised will be going towards breast cancer. Colin is doing a brilliant job. If you can donate anything for this raffle, brilliant. If you would like to contact him, Colin Fulton on Facebook, please contact him. Thank you.
Isn't that a fantastic cause? Hey, I think a little round of applause for what Colin's doing there, lad, because
Big up, Colin.
well done, Colin. He's doing a fantastic job. And breast cancer, these women need some support, and I'm sure we can all help out, and I'm sure there's people out there who can also help. But also, there's another little message here that obviously he didn't get to. Colin always leaves things late, so he sent me a text, could we add this on? Now, in that football team, it's £20 per man, or woman. There's females who can play in this game as well to help raise the funding. Great attitudes, great confidence in all these people, all working together to raise money. And then, after all the game of football, they're all going back to the Falcon pub. We can all imagine there's food and drinks all available. I know where Colin is, and I know what he tries to do. And I'm not too sure whether it's all free, because people are going to try and raise as much as they can to do this. Now, also, what Colin has added on, he doesn't give up here. He's added on the 23rd of October, he's taken my crown away from me, that he's going to do a sponsored walk from Kirby to Liverpool. And guess what? I think they're going to end up in another pub, which is called the Carter Pub. And what they're going to do is a massive raffle.
Colin loves the pub.
He does, doesn't he? You know, there's always a pub there. I think he should do a pub crawl. This is what it is, but he's got to drink water
The
on that.
Merseyside pub crawl.
Well, he's got over 60 prizes that's being donated at the moment. Big prizes for everyone, and that's where he's going to raise all his money. So, well done, Carl. I'm sure all our young commentators will be made up what you're doing, and maybe they could turn up and watch the game if they've got time, if you're not playing the games.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll have a good turnout for it. But again, it's
Are we not allowed
£20.
to play in the game, or?
No, it's adults this one.
Adults this one, yeah.
Yeah, I think Col will do one later on a little bit. I know where Col does, but he's going to be doing our Heart of Gold initiative, and he's going to start raising for that. So I'm sure we can put a little tournament on for you lads to get involved in that, and we can all raise money for everyone in the Heart of Gold. But brilliant, Col, keep up the great work. I think you're fantastic in what you are doing. Now, we've got a massive, busy year, as we've talked about here, ahead for Don't Cross the Line campaign. And we'd just like to mention as well, lads, I'm not too sure whether you know this, but Dan from KCC Live, and I understand why he's been that busy, but he announced today that they have won the radio station of the year.
Yeah, of course, yeah, I was on his
Yeah, well
list
done.
earlier.
KCC again, well done.
KCC.
So, obviously, this is where he said he's going to be in touch next week, and you lads are going to go to the studio. So, it's a good little thing that we can get Dan in here, and he'll be able to talk and tell us all about it. Maybe you could interview him, because that is a really, really prestigious award. So, once again, well done. And he's going to give you some coaching as well, some lessons, and, you know, how the celebrities, because in 2 weeks, who's got the first celebrity?
We don't know yet.
I think it's Dan. I'm sure it's Dan. Who's got the first? Who have you got?
Hope.
And have you done all your studies on him?
Yeah, I've got them all in the question list right here.
Oh wow, but we won't give our viewers or listeners any hint about it, because,
Nope.
you know, how confident are you feeling about it?
Well, being along with the podcast at the moment for the past 8 months now.
Yeah.
It's been 8 months, wow.
8 months?
Yeah.
No, it hasn't.
Yeah,
Feels
November.
like,
It was
Yeah.
around November last year,
it
yeah.
feels like only like 3 months.
Yeah, it doesn't
This is
feel
because
like
of
it
all the
was
lockdown and the way we've all been
Of
stuck.
course,
Because
yeah.
we were doing a lot of Zooms as well, weren't we?
Yeah.
So how are you taking to it as well? You're looking forward to all these interviews and things?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So even that, you come up with this one, didn't you? But you can blame Colin as well for not getting all this. But this is what you get to. When you're hosting things, people will get in touch with you a little bit later and all say, can you read this out? Can you mention us? Can you do that? You've got to open your space up and say, yeah, we can. Because people are going to start looking up to you. Now, we were talking something about what else are we going to be putting on after the interview on your very own channel.
Yeah.
What have we got?
Box on Instagram.
people can follow that now. So
Yeah.
if you want to get everyone to follow it, get all your... How many have you got now? Come on, followers.
On TikTok, I had 20k, but then I got banned for some random reason, and then now I've got 1k. So
I think it's the
I'm
Everton
building
shirt.
up.
No,
One K.
No.
I've only got 100.
100.
Still got 1k.
Oh, all these social media. Well, I tell you what, hats off to you, Connor. That's brilliant, you know what I mean? A lot of followers, so you can get a good message out there as well about your own station, Kids Voice Box. People can sign up to it now, can't they? Can
Yeah,
they all
of course,
join?
yeah. We've got currently one post which is our logo, and then we've currently got 44 followers on Instagram.
And we haven't really put anything up there yet, have we?
No,
So,
just from when it first released in the first week or so, that's when we got all the followers just rose.
well, you're going to get loads and loads of followers as well, because you're going to have your own little shows soon, aren't you, as well? Because
Yeah.
things are now coming to fruition, and I'm over the moon for you, because the competence that you've built, people are coming to me, they're pulling me when I go to the football, saying they're loving the young commentators, but you'll have like a little midweek show, and I think it might be in midweek that these celebs can come and make it, but I'm sure you're all going to make time just to do a little interview with one of your
I'm
celebs
so
as well.
scared for it though.
Are you?
I wouldn't be.
Yeah,
I-
David
honestly, I
Cole.
wouldn't be.
David Colwell is a scary person and it's hard person to learn about.
Hey, listen, you're going to be scared of him because you are going to put the questions
Yeah.
that he's got to answer to you.
He's got to think of an answer straight
Yeah, I've
away.
only got like 10 questions. It's
Yeah,
so.
that's enough for an interview.
Yeah,
Is it?
because he's
Yeah.
got to answer them.
He's got to answer them, and that takes up like a few
No,
minutes
but
per
like
question.
half of them I've like scribbled out because they don't make sense. So I've got really like 5.
Well,
He's a hard man to learn about. He is.
I've got Rob Hope. All my questions. I'll give you a quick hint. It's all about running, because
Oh.
that's what he does for a living.
Now, if we'd have given you celebrities when we first started, you wouldn't have wanted to do anything. You'd been
Had
too...
no clue.
Exactly.
No
But
clue.
looking at you now, Connie, yourselves, Jay, honestly, you're all brilliant. The confidence people, as I say, are passing the message on to me and saying, these kids are going to be absolutely fantastic, even with you young. No, but you had all this into... You've got to realise, haven't you? Oh, I'm on camera there, I can see myself here. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. But that's what you've got to get used to. We've got all this. Now, we've got a couple of minutes here that I did say, a quick talk about here. Let's catch up on the Premier League without the Premier League. We've got anything that anyone wants to say, Bringo?
Go on, me start. Javier.
Jaden.
Harvey Elliott injury. Very sad. Very
It
sad.
was, yeah. It was a
Did
nasty
you- did
break.
you
Did he break it or did he? I think
No,
he
he's,
dislocated.
no, he's broken it.
Is
He's
it?
broken
I
Did
thought
you
he
see
had-
the post on Instagram?
About
'Cause,
this kid.
there was a kid lying next to his bed.
Oh,
in a
one he
broken
lucky.
arm.
Yeah, and Harvey Elliott gave his boot to him and his top for the
Well,
game.
do you know what I noticed now? You see a lot of these players, don't you? They go off with broken legs and everything. They got the masks on, the gas, they're giving them gas and air. He was going around and applauding all of the fans. He seems to be, he's got a nasty, nasty break, dislocated, whatever it may be. But he's sending
Doesn't
messages out, what a young kid.
Did you see what he did on Instagram? He was like watching the game as he was in the back
in the hospital.
in the hospital. He was just had his phone watching the game.
And his foot all bandaged up as well.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah.
He had to get that on, didn't he? Yeah, that was good of him. But yeah, appreciate him, and he just gives a great message out to all you youngsters out there as
Yeah.
well. Just
He's
get on
funny,
with it.
Harvey Elliott though.
He is,
funny.
yeah. He's a funny man.
But he's a good player, isn't he?
He is,
Yeah, he's a good player.
And then,
Oh, he is
and
funny.
then on Monday,
What about the other side of Merseyside, eh?
Come on.
Yeah.
Townsend's goal.
Townsend.
Honestly,
Townsend.
I'm a Liverpool fan, but I'll give that to him.
Yeah,
Well,
it was
listen,
a great
yeah,
goal.
Is
what-
it just-
Okay, yeah, answer me this, lads. Now, I was watching that match, right, and I thought Burnley played really, really
They
well.
did. They had to put up a battle for Everton, and they did that well.
But was that not just a performance of 6 minutes off Everton? Not the whole
Probably
game.
not.
Probably.
Let me just
We
say something.
conceded, and then we just went.
Yeah.
You know how you like Townsend before? Is it just me? Every single season he scores at least one banger of a goal.
He does.
Yeah, he
No,
does.
he's a cracking little player, I must admit.
2018 to 2019 he scored that goal against Man City, like the volley from outside the box.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Can't remember
yeah.
what he did in 1920.
But he did something
1920.
really well.
You know what I meant? 19 to 20.
Well, a good thing about it, at
And that
least
will
we can,
probably
you know,
be
we've been
good.
talking about the Premier League all the time, haven't we? And when you look at Liverpool and Everton at the moment, we're both on 10 points. So we're all happy at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah.
Except Colin. Because if you're looking at this now, still viewing at YouTube with no shirts on, I know that if you're going, I'm going to send some shirts in.
I've got
Next
tags
time,
on the
just-
back of this.
Oh dear me, Carl, have you heard this, mate? They're having the right go at you.
Oh my god, I've just had the best idea.
What have you got,
Go on.
Jane?
As a joke, we're gonna imagine sending Colin an Everton kit with number 1 and Colin on the
DXTL.
back.
Or what about
Oh.
DXTL on the back, printed as the name and
Yeah.
number 1 on the number.
Colin,
And signed from all of us.
I'm sure you'll see a lot coming in from Colin as well. And I think the next show, we'll have someone peeping around the corner watching you lot.
It'll be
And
Colin.
It'll be Colin, yeah, they'll be there. I'm coming to the next show, you can imagine what's happening. But anyway, we were talking about
Well, yeah, Everton kit.
earlier on, now we were talking about hashtag don't bully the ref.
Yes.
Brilliant campaign that we're all going to be doing. So I'm going to let you lads finish off and give a message to all our listeners, all our viewers, and I'll tell our listeners what it is because they won't see. So would you like to give a message out there to all the verbally abusive parents, coaches and anyone else who make sure that our referees don't follow up and turn up the following week? We need our referees within the game. So what's your message, lads, to these bullies, bullying people?
You're off!
There you go. What a message to finish off with. These lads are, hold them up again, lads, let them all see.
I can't whistle.
That's it.
I can't whistle.
You can't whistle.
Right.
That is what we want. It's an anti-bullying campaign.
I don't know if you can see that very well. But
There you
It
go.
says
I'm
you're
sure
off
they
on
did.
it.
Just imagine it.
You're off,
like,
red card from
Just
DXTL.
imagine it, you're like
That's
20
it.
and you're getting bullied like by 1,000 or hundreds of people.
Well, there you go. So what a stern message, a strong message to everyone out there. Look after our referees. Enjoy your weekend games. We'll be back again tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. So for myself, Mal Lane, all the team here, the young commentators, REFspect, hashtag don't bully the ref campaign. We'll be back at 7 p.m. In the meantime, put your feet up, relax and have a great evening. Good night. God bless.
Get off and
Good night.
Goodbye.
Adios.